For the website's projects, we will use the posts functionality and create them in Elementor. But before we do that, let's create a single post template for them, so that when we add the project posts, they'll automatically have the layout and design we set up in this template, saving a lot of time and ensuring design consistency throughout the site. In the theme builder, go to Single Post and click to add a new one. Close the library and click the gear icon in the bottom left. Then give the template a name. Let's add the first section with one column. As you can see, the default width of 1350 pixels we set in site settings is applied here as well. Set the min height to 70 VH. Set the column position to stretch, and lastly, set the vertical align to middle. Now select the column and go to the Style tab. Select Classic Background to add an image. We will set it to dynamically display the featured images we will give our posts, soon when we set them up. Simply click here on Dynamic Tags, and under Post, choose Featured Image. This way, when we apply the template to our posts, the background image will change according to the posts your visitors view. At the moment, you see the featured image I've set for the default Hello World post. Next, set the position to center, and size to cover. Now, let's add an overlay as well. Set the global primary color. We can't see it yet because the column is empty. So let's start adding our widgets. We'll start off by dragging in the post title widget, which we will use to dynamically display the current post's title. Same idea as the featured image we set before. Align it to the center, and in style, set the text color to secondary and typography to primary headline. Let's add some padding to create space at the top. In Advanced, unlink and set the top padding to 100 pixels. Now, back in Widgets, search for and drag in the text editor widget. Click Dynamic Tags and under Post, choose Post Excerpt to dynamically display the current post's excerpt. Align it to the center and set the color to secondary. Next, search for the Share Buttons widget. Once you find it, drag and drop it under the text editor widget. We'll keep the default items and add one more. Set the network to WhatsApp. Then in View, select Icon. Set the skin to flat and align it to the center. In the Style tab, we'll adjust the columns gap a bit. Then set the color to custom. And for the primary color, drag the opacity all the way down, so it's transparent. The last widget we'll add to this section is an icon to help navigate visitors to the post's content once it's clicked. So search for and drag in the icon widget. Click to enter the icon library and type chevron. Choose the downward pointing chevron and insert it. Next, in Style, set the primary color to secondary. Set the size to 20. And in the Advanced tab, unlink the padding and add 100 pixels at the top and 50 at the bottom. Great! As you can see, the image and header elements aren't exactly aligned. This is because the background image in the column is set to cover, so it takes up all of the space in the column, including any padding we set. By adding some margin though, we can align it properly, because it's applied outside the column. In the Columns Advanced tab, unlink the margin and add 10 pixels on both sides. Great! Next, we'll go ahead and add the section that will display our post's content. So add a new section with one column. Then search for and drag in the Post Content widget. That's all we need for the posts to display dynamically. At the moment, you see the random text I've added to the default Hello World post. We'll add our own project posts soon, so they'll show up here. Remember the arrow button we made before? Now it's time to connect it to this section. So in the section settings, go to Advanced and type an ID over here. It can be any description word you want. Just make sure there aren't any spaces. I've gone with project. Go to the previous section and click the arrow icon. Then in the link field, type that ID and make sure you add a hashtag before it. Let's hide the panel and check it out. Cool! This way you can create scrollable links to any section or widget within your page. Now, for the last section, we are going to add the Post Navigation widget, so visitors can easily navigate through the different projects. Add a section with 2 columns. and drag the column's width to 60%. If you find it difficult reaching the exact percentage, just type 60 in the first column. The second column will automatically adjust its width. Next, go to Widgets and drag the post navigation in the second column. At the moment, we can't see anything yet because we only have one post. Let's quickly add some posts and come back here. Open the Finder and click to open the dashboard in a new tab. Go to Posts and click Add New. Give the project post a name and click Publish. Then repeat this process for the remaining projects. Great! Now that we're done creating our posts, let's go back to the single post template, save it as a draft, and refresh. Cool! Now we can see the post navigation arrows and can start styling them. Set the previous label to Previous Project and Next label to Next Project. In the arrows type, choose Chevron. Next, in the Style tab, for Label, set the color to accent and typography to accent text. For the title, set the color to primary and typography to accent text as well. In the arrow dropdown, we'll set the color to accent, size to 20, and gap to 24. Then, in borders, set the color to accent. We're almost done. In the Advanced tab, unlink the padding and add 20 pixels to the top. And lastly, go back to the column settings and unlink the padding. Then add 10 pixels to the right so it's aligned with the rest. Great, we finished building our single post template. Time to publish and set the conditions that determine where this template is applied across the site. Simply set it to include posts. It's set to all by default, so all posts will inherit this template's design. Exactly what we need. Next up, you'll see how to use the posts functionality to create your project posts in Elementor. So continue watching.